Ready to go?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Alright, hi everyone, I'm Josh Goldberg, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the history of Nike's success. So, I'll get back with you.
Yeah.
Oh. Alright, so who here can name all 6 of these famous Nike endorsers?
All 5.
Can you name 5? Can you name 6?
No, that person in the bottom.
Alright, well name as many as you can.
Ronaldinho, Sharapova, Kobe, LeBron, and Federer.
Right, and that's Paul Rodriguez. He's a skateboarder that's an endorser for Nike. I'm sure you guys all know who Tiger Woods is at this point. Alright, so there's 2 main reasons for Nike's success, and it's been their multiple innovations over the years and also their brand popularity from their endorsements. So today I'll explain how their history of their innovation as well as their famous and wealthy businessmen have made them one of the most largest sporting companies in the entire world. Okay, before there was Nike, there was Bill Bowerman, who was a track and field coach at the University of Oregon, and he was seeking ways to give his athletes a competitive advantage. And in the 1950s, he experimented with many different types of running shoes, trying to make them lightweight. Phil Knight was a runner under Bowerman, and he competed for their track program. He wrote a paper in one of his classes about how they can manufacture shoes in Japan, which would be cheaper cost and they can be the same quality as in Germany. So they decided to create a partnership where they were hired by Onitsuka Company in Kobe, Japan, where they would get Tiger shoes was the design, and what would happen was they would look at the shoes and sell them, and they would also take apart the shoes and look for new ways to innovate them and make them even better. And eventually the two formed Blue Ribbon Sports in 1964, which was their first company, which would eventually turn into Nike. Their debut, Jeff Johnson. Jeff Johnson met Knight at Stanford and grad school. He was also a runner and became the first full-time employee for the Blue Ribbon Sports. He made brochures, marketing, print ads, even created the first couple of new shoes, and he actually coined the name Nike in 1971, which is, according to dictionary.com, the ancient Greek goddess of victory, and he coined it because of the word victory. So in their debut, they created a new line of footwear, and it released the new. There's one new shoe for the U.S. track and field trials in Oregon for the runners to try out. The shoe was actually a waffle iron sole, where Bowerman took his wife's waffle iron and pressed it down and made like kind of like a checkerboard sole, which made it lightweight and more traction for the runners. So they really liked it a lot better. All right, endorsements were basically the key to Nike's success and their fame. So their first endorsement was Steve Prefontaine. He was a rising track star at Oregon. And the future, and he never lost a race in college, and he was like one of the main up-and-coming stars. He was all over Sports Illustrated. He was on the cover, and he actually ran in the Munich Olympics in 1972 and came in 4th place, which is a huge deal because he was just a college student. Because of his success, and people became familiarized with him along with Nike, hand in hand, which is kind of their foundation for their company. Actually, Prefontaine sent out pairs of Nike shoes to some of his buddies around the country who were like track stars with like notes of encouragement. This also like popularized the Nike shoes and made it seem like they were like kind of like a hierarchy. Unfortunately, he died in a car accident at age 24. The ups and downs of the 80s. Nike was on the rise in the 1980s thanks to their Nike Air shoes, which was their really light shoes. Also, they got an IPO, which make them become a publicly traded company so that they can go and get traded in the stock market. In the 1980s, with aerobics, the Jane Fonda, all that, there was a huge need for these athletic shoes, and Nike actually undercalculated for their stock, so they didn't produce enough shoes, so other competitors in that time period took over the lead. However, they got it back because of their endorsement security, once again, when they signed Michael Jordan, an NBA rookie in 1985, who created his Air Max shoes, and now Michael Jordan, as most of you know, he has his own company, Jordan, which started for Nike. Also, another main endorsement of the 80s was Bo Jackson, who was a two-sport athlete who did a lot of marketing in cross-training shoes and athletic shoes. And their marketing campaign really boomed in the 1980s with their Just Do It slogan and their like new ways of marketing with endorsements and famous people. Yeah, after Bo Jackson and the Just Do It slogan, they became the #1 seller in athletic footwear and apparel since, and they have been for the past almost 20 years.
You're at 5:30?
Okay. Nike Town is in Portland, Oregon, and the first one was created as like almost like a hierarchy of Nike. It was like a theater, store, and artwork, a display of artwork, and it was a huge, museum-like place where all the Nike could be advertised. The first one in Portland led to the creation of many, and probably one of the most famous ones in New York City and Manhattan. The integration of sports, Nike had all these
You're at 6 minutes?
different things in baseball, basketball, football, and soccer. But football, they signed in the 90s. They signed the Brazil and the U.S. national soccer teams. In the next year, in 1996, they signed Tiger Woods, who was really young, and people didn't think that he was going to do that good. 1 year later, he won the 1997 Masters by 12 strokes. They also signed Lance Armstrong, who was an up-and-comer cyclist, but he came down with cancer, as a lot of you know, and he lost almost every one of his sponsors except Nike, who stuck with him with persistence, and obviously, the rest, 7 Tour de France. The new products that came out in the 90s, Nike Shox, which took over 10 years because of technology, which was like the most comfortable and new shoes. Nike Plus, where you can actually connect your iPod to this Nike Plus and see how much you're running on your iPod while listening to music, which met consumer interest. So all these advertisements and innovations of new products that they created really met the foundations of their success.
You're at 7?
Okay. CSR programs, corporate social responsibility programs. The two things were use a shoe, where they would get shoes sent in, old shoes. They would take a look at them, see what they need to do, and send them back. Also, Nike Grind, where they could take old rubber shoes and grind them up to recycle and to use in the new products. So in conclusion, the new innovations really led in the market. The new products and use of endorsers like Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, all those really created a new marketing strategy and sales security. And that's it. Thank you for listening.